welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon, joined by Dmitriy Salita of Salita Promotions. Dmitry, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good.
That's what we want to hear, mate. But I just want to recap on the 2022 you had. It was pretty crazy. You had Wallin keeping active in the heavyweight division, Franklin stepping up to White, getting a controversial loss, and but the highlight of it all, Clarissa Shields becoming undisputed against Savannah Marshall. Just give me a little sum up of 2022 for you.
Yeah, and you missed one fight. Vladimir Shishkin beat Jose Oskariki for the IBF Eliminator on Showtime. That was in December.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a very good couple of months. I'm very grateful for for the fact that all of these great talents are shining, in their own respective ways.
Mm.
Certainly, Clarissa's fight was incredible.
Yes.
I mean, she's the Muhammad Ali of this generation.
Mm.
One of the greatest athletes of all time, and it was incredible what she has done. Eventually, only lost against Savannah Marshall.
Yeah.
In the UK, in front of 20,000 fans. Some like Clarissa, most were rooting for Savannah, understandably, but Clarissa just went into the zone and showed how great she was, and it was really incredible to be there. With that being said, I love boxing in the UK. I love going to the UK. The UK boxing fans and the media are really incredible, very knowledgeable, and very passionate about the sport. And as someone in a boxing business, first, foremost, and most importantly, I'm a fan of boxing. I love boxing. That's my driving force. So, to experience that from the inside is really incredible. So I'm very grateful for these fights and for these experiences. And just one thing that I want to throw out there: Vladimir Shishkin beat Jose Oskariki. Vladimir, trained by Sugar Hill, he won the IBF Eliminator. He's a super middleweight. I know there's been talk of John Ryder fighting Canelo, which may or may not happen. Canelo's a southpaw, but truly, Vladimir really mimics the style of Bivol.
Yeah.
Same country, similar style, and I believe that that would be a true, real great test for him. And obviously, Vladimir has made it known that he would like to fight Canelo. And we've been working on that fight for a long time. So if it doesn't happen in May, I have confidence that it'll happen in sometime in the future.
Well, hopefully, yeah, I'd love to see that as well. But just touching on Clarissa again, I remember I spoke to you on fight week and I didn't get a long interview because we was being rushed into the press conference. But you said to me then, you said, come on, let's go and enjoy a historic moment in the sport. You said that to me. And I just wanted to touch upon what that meant to you. You've been with Clarissa personally since day one when she turned pro. What did that occasion mean to you?
I mean, we've broken so many records together. Clarissa really has broken so many records, and I'm grateful that she believed in my vision when we started working together to make the biggest and the best fights. And sometimes, the intentions don't materialize. So I'm very grateful that they materialized. Clarissa is the first woman ever to headline a boxing card on premium cable network television, which was Showtime, before anybody else, really. And only after that to see the breakfast fought on HBO, not as a highlight, not as a main event, but on the card. And then Katie Taylor, somewhat after that, fought on it wasn't the zone yet, on some other network. So it started to progress, but it's Clarissa that opened the door, and through visibility, through the money that she's made, and through her voice, and being that she's such an activist for the sport of boxing and for women's boxing particularly. And while she's very competitive, she pulls people up with her. Sometimes people make it to the top and they push people down. Clarissa pulls people up, and she's very understanding of who she is and her position, truly in the history of the world, if you think about it. Because great athletes use sports as a bridge to progress social causes and change culture in an important way. Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, and Claressa Shields. And obviously there are other sports and the other great athletes like Pele, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan, who had tremendous success. But somehow I feel like boxing, when it comes to these types of things, boxing is the most vivid and the most powerful in terms of progressing social change. Because, it's truly, while people fight for a cause outside the ring, they also fight for a cause inside the ring, and through success and through where they come from, they're able to project and have a megaphone of the world to talk about things that are important. So Clarissa is that person, and I always, I said it from the beginning, promoting her fights in Detroit, guys, take it because it's going to be a collector's item, and you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids that when I was such and such age. So so those that didn't throw their ticket away from the O2 Arena in London should save it because it's going to be a collector's item. And by the way, much respect to Savannah Marshall, who fought a great fight and really incredible fighter and did amazing. It would beat any other woman on that night and many men.
Yeah, exactly.
But Clarissa just turned it up, similar to what she did with Christina Hammer. Also a big fight. Christina Hammer was a great fighter, but Clarissa just outclassed her and just graduated to another level. So,
but moving on from the legacy side of things, let's talk about what's next for Clarissa. There's talks, especially from what I'm seeing on social media, of Tasha Jonas being her next opponent, with quite big rumors going around. I just wonder if you could elaborate on that, on what's next for Clarissa.
Yeah, fight with Tasha Jonas is what we're looking to do. That will be our choice number one. I believe outside of Savannah is the biggest fight for her to do, and we don't mind doing it in the US. We don't mind doing it in UK. And Natasha and her trainer Joe Gallagher are on board with us. They also don't mind doing it in UK or in the US. And it's really beautiful when you have two sides that want to do the fight. And I believe it'll be an easy deal to make. And I really believe that it'll be another mega event and one of these events that drives that the world stops for an hour and everybody watches. I really believe it's going to be an electric event. But we're still ways away from getting it done. And but hopefully we can take the steps in that direction.
Do you, if you can make that fight with Natasha Jonas, do you have an ideal date in mind that you'd be aiming for?
I feel like Clarissa wants to get back in the ring. I know Clarissa wants to get back in the ring end of March, to mid-April, sometime in that window. So that would be the I would say mid-March to mid-April is when she wants to fight.
You mentioned that Jonas is the biggest fight outside of Marshall for Clarissa, and it got me thinking, do you think we'll ever see a rematch between the two of them, Marshall and Shields?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very possible. I think it's a great fight. I think that the second time around will also be a very good competitive fight. I believe that it has to simmer a little bit, and both of these fighters have to have some in between fights, and Savannah has to show some change and some improvement just to kind of build up, build it up again. But I feel like the second time around it may be even bigger because it lived up to the expectations plus, I feel that it'll have even a bigger platform second time around. Maybe we'll do it in the US, but Clarissa has a lot of exciting things happening this year outside the ring that that we'll get to know in the near future.
Yes,
and all of that will just help to make that fight bigger and bigger. So I do think that in the future, the best fight for both is a rematch. The biggest fight for both is a rematch, and 100%. I believe that it'll be on a scale bigger than than the original fight. Could be. Well, I've said that I would love for Clarissa to step on uncharted territory, like to fight in the Middle East and to fight in Africa, like Muhammad Ali.
Yes,
I believe that would be very special, regardless of who she fights, really, because for Clarissa, the woman who she is, what she represents for women's rights and equality all over the world, to fight in these places, to be an inspiration to the women, would be really incredible. Would be powerful, something that would transcend not just the sport of boxing but sports, and would be really significant. So that's something that would like to accomplish in this year or next.